Hi guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is one that's actually been requested because I mention quite often in my weekly vlogs what I'm reading or what I want to read and all that kind of thing. And a lot of you have asked for a 2022 bookshelf. So the things that I'm planning on reading, what I've currently got that I want to read and all that kind of stuff. So to start off, I thought I would explain. I read across a Kindle and actual physical books. That's because I got a Kindle for Christmas this year. So I'd already got quite a few books on my bookshelf that I wanted to read. And obviously now having the Kindle, I've downloaded a few bits on there. And I tend to use the books if I'm reading at home. So I'll read them in the bath or like just generally. And then the Kindle tends to be what I read when I'm on the go. So if I'm getting a train up to London or anything like that, or like, you know, when you just have to wait between appointments or something. Basically, whenever I'm out of house, or to be honest, sometimes I do read it at home as well. But I'm kind of transitioning over, and I do, as much as I love the Kindle, still really love a physical book. So I'm in that in-between stage of like, still having both, but also still like buying both. So I've got a bit of everything. And I thought what I'd do is talk you through the paper books and then the Kindle, so you can see a wide range of what I'm reading and just kind of hear my thoughts on everything and what they're all about and stuff. To start off, I'm going to talk you through what I've already read this year, which is 2 books. I think I've read 2. Have I read 2? I've read 3. I've actually read 3 books. First and foremost, I'm going to apologise. I am not by any means a book reviewer or anything like that. I'm just a girl who likes to read. So there won't be the most amazing terminology or anything in this video, so please don't come at me for that. But I just wanted to talk you through all of the books that I'm loving and share them with you. The first was The Magic, which if you are into manifestation or you want to learn about manifestation and the law of attraction, I highly recommend reading that one. It's such an insightful read. It's basically a 28-day practice putting the law of attraction to use, and I'm actually part of an online book club for the podcast Law of Attraction Changed My Life, and we read 1 self-development book a month. So that was the January book. The February book I'll show you in a minute. So that was what I read first and foremost. I also read Daisy Jones and the Six, which was one that I picked up because, or downloaded on the Kindle, because I'd read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and I really enjoyed it. Fastest I think I've read any book in the last couple of years, because I just managed to get through it in about 3 days and really enjoyed it. So I thought I'd read Daisy Jones and the Six. I did enjoy it, but I will say that the style of writing, I think, isn't for everyone. So it's kind of written like an interview. So it's like Daisy, Billy, like it's written as like an interview and they're speaking to each other kind of. So it is really easy to follow, but I just found it not to be as descriptive as other books maybe are, obviously because of the style. But I do really love the writing of the author. I think it's Taylor Jenkins something. I can't remember her name, but I've also read Malibu Rising by her as well and enjoyed that. The third book, which is the one I've literally just a second finished, is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Really enjoyed that one. I thought it was a really good read. I have read previously The Family Upstairs by her, which was also, again, a really good book if you're in the mood for like a kind of mystery, like what's going on here type of vibe. To summarise, Then She Was Gone is about a woman whose daughter goes missing when she's, I think it's 14 or 15, and it's basically the story of her life after the daughter goes missing. So sometimes it flicks to the then, sometimes it's in the now, and it's like a weird spiral story of all these things that kind of like link together when she gets a bit older, and like her family and stuff. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed it. I did find it quite predictable, that's all I'm going to say. So I clocked pretty early on in the book what I thought the ending would be, and it kind of did lead into that narrative, but it was really good. So that's the 3 that I've read so far. I've set myself a 15 book goal by the end of the year. However, like I said, I'm in the book club, so we do read a book a month. That's going to be 12 without me even thinking about it, and I really enjoy doing the book club. I'll leave a link down below to the Patreon because it's £10 a month. It's called Book Club Bitches, and it's just a really good way of reading self-development books and actually reading them, not just owning them and having them on your shelf for years. And it's also a really good way of hearing a different perspective and like hearing a book spoken to you without it just being an audio book. So Fran, who runs the book club, is really good at kind of reading a summary of the chapter. So she reads the chapter but like not every single word, and then we'll put it into her own life or like an easy to digest kind of version of it, which I really enjoy. I think it's a really great way to do it, and also share stories of like people within the book club who have shared their stories as we're reading. So let me start talking you through the little stash that I've got here. So Kindle will be the last one I do, like I said. and we're going to go through this little pile. This is the book I am currently on, and it's called Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. This one is one of the best sellers when it comes to self-development, and it's kind of like the law of attraction but from a different perspective. So he talks heavily about the law of attraction, but he also talks about vibrations and how everyone in life is on a different vibration, and the ultimate aim is to be on a really high vibration at all times, because high vibes attract high vibes, negative vibes and low vibes attract negative and low vibes. I am quite big on like vibrations and energy and manifestation, law of attraction, that kind of thing. So this is a really well wanted read for me, and I am one of those people who, when it comes to like the self-development books, it does like to highlight and make notes on my pages. So that's what I've done thus far, and I'm currently nearly at the end of the first chapter. The first chapter is all about like positive lifestyle habits, so that's one that I'm reading currently and highly recommend. Let me go through my self-development-y ones first, and then I'll leave a time card down below if you don't care about that kind of thing, because I know some people don't. The next book that I can't wait to read is this one, which is Manifest: 7 Steps to Living Your Best Life by Roxy Nafousi. I cannot wait to read this. I've heard such good things, and I've heard it's kind of like a more simplified modern day version of The Secret and the Magic. So basically bringing it to the modern day, making it really easy to digest, and I just can't wait to get into it. I've had a little flick through and it looks really interesting. The writing is very small, so that makes me excited because it's a really small book, so I thought it would be quite like quicker to the point, but I like that it's got like some juice in there. Then the last self-development one I'm going to show you for now before we get into the novels is this one, which is The 5 AM Club by Robin Sharma, and this is apparently so interesting. I've heard this is like game changing, it changes your whole life, and as someone who is actively trying to get up earlier, I thought this would be a really good one to go to. So it's basically talking through how to become a 5 AM person, how to be successful, and kind of utilising all of these skills that successful people have and have used to grow their business into one really easy to read book. I have started getting up at about 5:30 and going to the gym at 6 AM, and it's absolutely changed my life already. I find it so much more, what's the word for it, like I'm just inspired, I'm more awake, I'm more alert, I feel like I get more done in my day, and I definitely notice it more on the days that I have off the gym, so 2 days a week, when I lie in a little bit and I don't tend to feel my best. I feel like I don't get as much done. Then getting into novels, I've got 4 here that I want to read for definite this year, although there probably will be a couple more, and then obviously there's a couple on my Kindle too. So these are the 4 paperbacks that I've got. So I'm going to talk you through each of these in order. Some of them have been on my bookshelf for a really long time, because I think if you are someone who likes to read, you end up just buying so many books and realise that you just don't have enough hours in your lifetime to read the amount of books that you've got. But you just keep buying more, and that's definitely what I do. And I do actually tend to be that person who goes on Facebook Marketplace and buys books, so I end up with quite a lot of books on my bookshelf that are kind of in bulk, so people will sell like 10 books for a tenner or whatever, and I tend to buy those. So that's where this one actually came from. So this one is Part of the Family by Charlotte Philby, and it's basically, on the surface, Anna looks like she has a perfect life. She's married to her university boyfriend and has twin daughters, and basically they get a nanny, and there's a whole story about this nanny being part of the family and there being secrets and deceit and lies and all that kind of thing, and it just sounds like it's a really good, like, gritty read, and it's the kind of book that I really enjoy, so I thought I would see how I go with this one. It was part of a bundle that I bought on Facebook Marketplace, so I've given a couple to my mum because we tend to share, and this is one of the ones that I kept and thought would be great for my next read. Then I've got Small Pleasures by Claire Chambers, which is another one that's a recent pickup. I got this one when I was in London and wanted something to read on the train, but I ended up buying 2. So one of them, I can't remember what I bought with it. I think it was Where the Crawdads Sing, actually, which I have read and really enjoyed, but this was one of the other ones. So this one is basically set in 1957 in the suburbs of southeast London. Jean Swinney is a journalist on a local paper, trapped in a life of duty and disappointment from which there is no escape. When a young woman, Gretchen Tilbury, contacts the paper to claim that her daughter is the result of a virgin birth, it's down to Jean to discover whether she's a miracle or fraud. As the investigation turns her quiet life inside out, she's suddenly given an unexpected chance for friendship, love, and possibly happiness. But will there be a price to pay? It sounds like a nice, easy read. It sounds like something I want to get through quickly, and just a nice, calm, relaxing read. You know when you just want one that's like a feel-good, cozy, wrapped up in a blanket with a cup of tea and just nothing but your thoughts kind of book. It sounds like that kind of vibe and I'm here for it. Then we have The Feast, which is set in Cornwall, and I actually picked this up in St Ives over the summer, and I just kind of feel like a nostalgia. I don't know, this book is kind of like a memory to me. I just really like it. Like, it reminds me of being in Cornwall now. It's something that I can't wait to get into, and it just, I don't know, I just think it's going to be a really good read. The cover is also gorgeous. I'm a sucker for a good cover. It's just like a really beautiful picture of Cornwall. And then the blurb of this one says, each guest has retired as animals retire with a bone to the back of its cage to chew on some single obsession. Cornwall midsummer in 1947. Pendersac Manor Hotel has just been buried in the rubble of a collapsed cliff. 7 guests have perished, but what brought this strange assembly together for a moonlit feast before the act of God or man? Over the week before the landslide, we meet the hotel guests in their eccentric glory. The selfish aristocrat, the slothful hotelier, snooping housekeeper, bereaved couple, bohemian authoress, and poverty-struck children. And as friendship forms and romance blossoms, sins are revealed and the cracks of the cliff widen. Both a glorious portrayal of a seaside holiday in post-war Britain and a wise, witty story. I think this sounds delightful, and I just can't wait to get into it. Like, honestly, when I say, every time I finish a book, I sit down and I have about 7 in front of me and I'm like, what do I read next? Because there's a lot of books here and I don't know which one to go for, and I really don't know what to pick. So it ends up being that I either put a poll on Instagram and I'll be like, which of these do I go for? Or I'll just say to James, right, these are 2 blurbs, which one sounds better? And he'll be like, go for that one. Which is how I picked my last book, because I was between Part of the Family and then she was gone and he picked for me. Anyway, moving on. The last book that I want to read, like physical copy, is Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I've heard this is amazing. It does say on the front, 13 million copy best-selling author. What an achievement, please. That is such an achievement. So this one says, it's New Year's Eve and House Tricks estate agents are showing people around an upmarket apartment when an incompetent bank robber rushes in and politely takes everyone hostage. For Annalena and Roger, busy buying an apartment to fill the hole in their marriage, it's something else to talk about. For Julia and Ro, panicky parents-to-be, it's just another worry. Lonely bank manager Zara only came here for the view, while 87-year-old grandmother Estelle seems rather pleased by the company. As the police gather outside, the anxious strangers huddled within try to make the best of a sticky situation. But could it be that they have a whole lot more in common than meets the eye? This is like praised online. I've heard it's absolutely incredible. So that'll probably be my next read, to be honest. That's the one that I feel drawn to the most. So I think it might be the one that I kind of gravitate to next. And then I'm actually back in Cornwall this summer, so I feel like the Cornwall one might be a nice read, like pre-going or when I'm there, just as like a little one to read on the beach or something. And then moving on to my Kindle, I just have a classic Kindle Paperwhite. James got me this for Christmas. I just wanted like a no fuss Kindle. I didn't want anything too fancy, I didn't want anything too much. I just wanted one that would be really easy to read on and wouldn't be like glary, because I've had a Kindle in the past and the glare was really annoying, so I just asked him for a really simple one. So on here, we've got a few different ones. So I've got 4 currently on here, as you can see from the screen. I basically went on, looked on the bestsellers and bought the ones that I thought resonated with me the most. And I find the deals on Kindle books are so good sometimes. Like, they always do like the 99p sales and reduced prices. So it is worth having one if you are an avid reader and you read a lot, because they do tend to have a lot of sales, and you can fly through as many books as you want because they're kind of half price. And also, I think I could end up having the world's biggest bookshelf, so I like having them on here so that they're not taking up all the space in my house as well. But yeah, let me talk you through these. So the first book I've got on my Kindle is The Ladies' Midnight Swimming Club by Faith Hogan. So I'm just going to read you the blurb off of Goodreads. So it says on here, when Elizabeth's husband dies, leaving her with crippling debt, the only person she can turn to is her friend Jo. Soon, Jo has called in her daughter Lucy to help save Elizabeth from bankruptcy. Leaving her old life behind, Lucy is determined to make the most of her fresh start. As life slowly begins to return to normal, these 3 women, thrown together by circumstance, become best of friends. But then Jo's world is turned upside down when she receives shocking news. In search of solace, Jo and Elizabeth find themselves enjoying midnight dips in the freezing Irish Sea. Here they can laugh, cry and wash away all their fears, as well as conjure a whole fundraising plan for the local hospice that will bring together the whole community. I think it sounds like such a good vibes read. Kind of similarly to These Small Pleasures, it just feels like a cosy one that you wrap up warm with, and it sounds like it's going to be a really nice, easy read. Then the next book I've got on here is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and that one says, a beautiful and distinguished family, a private island, a brilliant damaged girl, a passionate political boy. A group of 4 friends and liars whose friendship turns destructive. A revolution, an accident, a secret, lies upon lies, true love and the truth. We Were Liars is a modern, sophisticated suspense novel from New York Times bestseller E. Lockhart. Do you see what I mean by my taste here? Like, I've got the cozy reads and I've got the slightly more gritty reads. It's just the way I am. Then we've got The Other Passenger by Louise Candlish, and the blurb of this one says, "You're feeling pretty smug about your commute to work by riverboat. No more traffic gridlock or getting stuck in the tube tunnels. Now you've got an iconic Thames view, fresh air and a whole lifestyle upgrade. You've made new friends on board, led by a hedonistic young neighbour Kit, and you've just had your first Water Rats Christmas drink. But the first day back after Christmas, Kit isn't on the morning boat. The river landmarks are all the same, but something seems off. You disembark to find the police waiting. Kit's wife, Melia, has reported him missing, and another passenger witnessed the two of you arguing on the last boat home after your drinks. Police say you had reason to lash out and to kill him, but you protest. You and Kit are friends. Ask Melia and she'll vouch for you. And who exactly is this other passenger pointing the finger? What do they know about your private lives?" I think it just sounds like quite a good one, because it's like a, ooh, whodunit? What's happening here? And then the last book on here is 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Louise. So this one is basically a romantic, heartwarming novel. Two strangers meet by chance circumstance during a blizzard and spend one perfect evening together, thinking they'll never see each other again. But fate seems to have other plans. On a snowy evening in March, Noelle Butterby is on her way back from an event at her old college when disaster strikes. Blizzard closes off roads and she finds herself stranded, alone in a car, without any phone, drink or water. All seems lost until Sam Atwood, a handsome American stranger also trapped in a nearby car, knocks on her window and offers assistance. What follows is 8 perfect hours together until the morning arrives and the road is cleared. The two strangers part, but fate, it seems, has different plans. The two keep serendipitously bumping into one another, and they begin to realise that perhaps there truly is no such thing as a coincidence. Basically, it says it's a gorgeously crafted novel that will make you believe in the power of fate, and it sounds delightful. So basically, that is my 2022 bookshelf. Like I said, I am in the book club. There will probably be a few more self-development books in there. If you want me to do like a review every couple of months and just talk to you about what I've read, I'd be more than happy, because I love watching book content. I watch a lot of YouTubers talking through their book collections or bookshelf ideas or anything like that, and I follow a lot of people on Instagram who do book clubs and stuff, or just book accounts where they talk through different reads, and I find it really interesting. So I think if that's something you guys would want to see, I'm more than happy to start including some bits. I also do talk about books a lot in my weekly vlogs, so if you follow those, often I will talk about what I'm reading or what I'm planning to read and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of something different for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get a notification when I upload, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.